Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. Today we're going to be looking at Jolteon VMAX. It's proving itself still to be among the top 10 decks in the format, despite the release of Manaphy, and despite there still being Urshifu prevalent in the meta, and a few fighting Pokemon in general, the likes of Zapdos V as well. So, yeah, interesting to see its meta placement. I do think it is somewhat of a dodge and weave deck, and you do have to pick your moments and certain tournaments to play this archetype, because if it gets too high on the radar, people start teching against you and you have a much harder time. But if not, you're still one of the stronger decks in the game with a pretty straightforward game plan. Typically, it's trying to disrupt your opponent's draw power, either by using your Thunder Rumble to bench snipe your opponent's Inteleons, which are in a ton of archetypes right now. It's such an incredible ability, or trying to use Path of the Peak to disrupt V Pokemon's abilities, which is obviously Genesect is the standout one, and to an extent as well the Arceus V-Star power that you can turn off. So yeah, trying to be one of the most disruptive decks in the game, and combine that with early tempo pressure with 100 and 100 to the bench is usually pretty efficient, especially when you have things like quick shooting on your side. You have Zigzagoon for the early game ping damage. You have your own consistency via the Inteleon engine and a little extra help from Speed Lightning, which is always nice. You have inbuilt free retreat on your Jolteon V, which is absolutely insane because it means that it's a great lead in the deck. And when you are the player going second, you can just retreat into your one prizes pretty easily and try and protect your guy. So yeah, a lot of inbuilt strengths here. We are able to use the Cheryl supporter to undo any damage that we are receiving if we're not getting one-hit KO'd. And this combines really nicely because we have Elemental Badge, so we simply need just one attachment on our Jolteon, so the Cheryl isn't too painful and is obviously very good against Arceus, where oftentimes we're trying to out-heal them whilst, you know, stripping away their own engine, making it harder for them to do their heal shenanigans with their Sharon's Care. So that's always nice. Couple tech cards I'm playing. Tool Scrapper. Jammer is sneaking into some Mew, some Arceus decks, so you definitely want your own tools online, so scrapping your opponent's Jammers is actually kind of nice, and also just getting rid of things like Cape of Toughness or Big Charm, obviously a very good thing here. And we are also playing Fan of Waves. A little bit of extra disruption against Arceus and Mew is never a bad thing, especially because, again, we are targeting their engines either by sniping them down or by pathing them. So sometimes you can just force them into not attacking you for a turn if the fan sticks alongside some of your disruptive plays. But of course, this also gets rid of fusion energy so that you can actually use the likes of Quick Shooting or Headbutt Tantrum to set up Pokemon for KOs. This is obviously really important because you need stuff to be pre-damaged for your Thunder Rumble, especially things like Oricorio. That's going to be a big card to target against Genesect Mew, so that you are doing a lot more damage than just 80-80, because that is going to be slow. So let's jump onto the new ladder and play some games of Jolteon. It's not really adapted too much. It's just basically tweaked its counts of cards. So the list isn't like super inspiring, but maybe we can get some good games in with the deck. It was the second best performer pre-Brilliant Stars, and I do think it's, like I said, a bit more precarious here and there. Dodging some fighting types, mostly Urshifu is what we're scared about, Rapid Strike, but also dodging some Manaphy tech cards are going to be important. But it's really down to how much people respect the deck, which is pretty interesting right now, because it's hovering around that sort of top 5 decks in the game, but isn't really going to break into like the top 2 at all. So do you really want to commit a space to a deck that you may only see one of in a day 1 field, that sort of thing? And that's what you're hoping on right now. That's what you're banking on. Looks like we're up against a tricky matchup. As soon as you see Hyper Potion, you know it's not going to be good. This is going to be an Arc Duraludon, probably. Our start is pretty grim. We are playing lots of special energy, but we do have the path. We've been helped out a ton by these mulligan draws, actually. That's going to be huge for us. So we are going to be able to get our Jolteon, get our Sobble going. We do have our other Zig. We do have 2 of our nets, which is nice for moving out the active. We do have all 3 paths. I would definitely think about just dropping a path on the opponent early, but I want to be the one winning the war of stadiums if possible. So I think we're just going to play like this and hold everything else for next turn. Don't see a reason to play any other cards. Yeah, should be good there. because of course we're only really needing to turn off abilities turn 2 from that V-Star power. But also, of course, we're concerned about that Duraludon ability. We do need to be able to hit through that guy. The opponent is going to fire off an Avery, which I'm happy to see in the discard pile straight away, because it's a scary card for sure. Let's go for our VMAX. We can do a pretty decent turn here. It's going to be a Judge or a Marnie Path play with a guaranteed VMAX hitting. And it's with basic energy as well, which is pretty good. So pretty much have everything we want. We're obviously only hitting 100 damage, which isn't a lot, but if we can combine it with this disruption, it should be pretty solid. Let's play the nets, get out of the active. Play this, play the Marnie. The reason why we play one Judge is to disrupt Mew players who use Rotom Phone, of course. And they need a lot from 4 cards here. One thing about the old Arcdura deck is that it's not necessarily known for its consistency. So we'll see how they do off these random 5 cards. Well, they find Stadium, so if they have the V-Star as well, it's going to be insane. Okay, they're in the game. Combining Stadium and Ultra Ball. Pretty decent. Wow, they play Karen's Conviction. Okay, have to be slightly concerned about that, I guess. But maybe less so now that it's in the discard pile. But they're going to V-Star power here. They'll be able to get double turbo and likely just a Duraludon to attach to. Unless they can do some sort of mustard play here. They could do like a quick ball mustard thing if they really wanted to go immediately into that VMAX. We'll see. We can fan Marnie next turn, which isn't too bad. I don't need to put the path down whilst I'm still basic energy based, so that's going to be important. Okay, so they are grabbing that Duraludon. Wonder why they... played Quick Ball to discard an energy. A strange one for sure. So Marnie's actually giving them more cards here, because they're just all in, right, on this hit. Bit of a strange one. So we're just doing this, poking the guy. Reducing 30. I think because I have both paths in hand, it makes sense, right? Just try and pressurize the maximum amount here. It's really scary. We've put him on a top deck here. We could lose, basically, off of a good top deck. But if it doesn't come together, we can win next turn. One draw to rule them all. Yeah, the opponent went all in. It's a gamble from us to not Marnie there and get our next Jolteon, but you just have to trust that their deck bricks post-Starbirth sometimes. The odds are still in our favor there. And as long, like, next turn we'd be Marnieing just to try and hit an Inteleon. Either one would work, because if we found Big Shady, we could net for the bench KO. So yeah, nice. Bricking them... Eventually. Even with their Starbirth, they needed so much, and the money didn't give them a supporter for the following turn, so they went maximum tempo, but sacrificed their hand in the process. It's pretty good for us. So they played a Quick Ball to improve their odds of top decking, not Quick Ball. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking back to why they took Quick Ball over Duraludon, but I guess if they didn't value the metal energy anyway, which they shouldn't for any reason, it does make sense. Alright, let's get into our next game. Duraludon certainly could be a tricky matchup, especially if they play maximum Crystal Cave. We are getting to go first here. We don't have access to Jolteon, which is dicey. we only have the 4 quick, the 4 jolts. So it's not super likely, but always a shame when you miss it. Looks like we might be up against a Rapid Strike Mally, and basically this comes down to whether or not they actually play the tech card or not. I'm not going to play these speeds. I don't think there's a reason to. We'll just pass, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We see the Brawly. Also going to see a Level Ball, so that means they don't have Keep Calling this turn. They're just going to settle with this board. Yeah, okay. Hitting Marnie is not bad here. Let's deal active. Let's grab our Quick Ball. Path is useless. Let's get rid of that. Draw a couple from Speed Lightning onto our boy. They do the old Heartbreaker moat, so they're not happy to see it. They were happy to Level Ball, which tells me I'm happy to Marnie here. Because they wouldn't have Level Balled if they had Dead Hand. There is a reason to play this Zig, but it can get blocked by net. But I think I'll play it anyway. What's the worst thing to net? Probably an Inkay, right? But it means he can promote this one. Maybe it was best on one of these guys. Let's do this. The 10 on the Inkay is not the worst anyway, because it means I'm threatening... Like, we don't KO Mallies anyway with the 100 damage. So it's a little bit decent. So I do have one more deal open to me, but do I want to do anything with it? No, I don't think I do. I think we just chill. Let's see a rope from them. Let's promote Zig. Let's see if something like a Karina's Focus could get them the KO here. They don't need much, but they do need to get Energy Mally. And, yeah, Karina's the best draw they have access to. But I know all too well that this is a pretty dicey matchup for Rapid Mally without the lovely tech card. Incidentally, it is why we're up to 2 boss with Jolteon. So, the telltale sign that they don't play Inkay, oh sorry, Manaphy is that they go triple Ink here. Incense for Artillery, that's going to grab. Good old Mally, if needed, or any other rapid card if they already have it in hand, just for damage. Seems good. So they will be initiating a race here. And they're just going to show us the 80. Seems good. Alright, so path, not a great draw. Don't really want to get rid of Energy and Badge, but I guess I have another one in the deck. So I'm just going to guarantee the Jolt here. I could like Quick Ball this away, go Energy, Ellie Badge. It just means that there's a chance I whiff off Research. It's just not high odds though, right? Maybe we go for the Quick Ball thing. I'm thinking that, like, something has to go wrong for us to lose this matchup, right? But that something could be us just whiffing on a few different fronts. So let's just not do that. Let's go badge. I think I don't even need to attach this energy, honestly. We could draw speed lightnings, and that gets us more draws. So I think I'm just going to pass this up to draw more cards. We actually do miss out on that front, but I can do some quick net plays, which is nice. So we're definitely going to go for KO on this. I don't want them to have big deal, that's for sure. Yeah, we'll go here. We'll Zig active. We'll net here. We'll Drizz for our incense. So maybe a little bit greedy for us to not go for the energy drop there. I guess there only was one speed lightning. I've prized a couple, but this is fine. This is fine. I'll thin the card. We know we're not getting hand disrupted anymore. Well, not anymore. The archetype doesn't hand disrupt us. Let's do our rumble. So 300, not an unsurmountable heap of damage here. Those are two really nice prizes. But pretty tricky when they don't have Big Shady online. They, of course, do have Cynthia's Ambition open. They could scoop up Net Artillery if they need to. But it's the fact that they, again, need to get a third Inkay down in the mix here as well. So they need a few pieces pre-Ambition. Energy drop is big. Ambition for 5. Okay. It's pretty good news that they didn't have any more insta-playables here. They have no guarantees that they can hit Rescue Carrier either. Carrier would be a huge draw for them. They're forced to go for a Mally here also. But do they get down more backup stuff? They really need to replenish their board here. I should know, I'm a Mally man. Level Ball. That's not an Inkay. That's an Inkay. So they are lacking KO. Oh, they could have KO if their whole hand is rapid now. Their whole hand is indeed rapid. But they'll have 3 from prizes. We'll just be taking double KO here. So their 3 prizes plus top deck better be insane, basically. Again, it's one of these shaky moments of do you have it, but he needs so much, or they need so much. There's no reason to play any of the cards here. I guess I can... Yeah, I really don't need the Cheryl. They never have a boss KO here, that's for certain. Let's rumble away their engine. And that's more or less the lifeblood of the deck. They would have to ambition into some crazy cards here. They need like double Rescue Carrier. Draw no bombs. Here we go though. There's at least an ambition, so there's a chance we lose. One carrier is dangerous. If they have energy in the hand, they could, in theory, 360 us. Oh my goodness. Oh no! The whole hand? Whoa. I was scared. I was like, wait, that ain't enough. Thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, without the engine pieces, it's too likely that they draw bombs there. Scary, though. Very scary. If they drew double carrier, we were dead. Right? I guess it had to be a second carrier instead of one of those bombs. Whew. That's scary. Of course, we did miss Jolteon turn 1, so they had a turn longer than usual, right? Let's get one more game in of Jolt. They've been fast games, but a lot of Jolteon's win condition does involve denying the opponent from setting up in the first place, so that's why games will be kind of short with Jolteon. It'll be short one way or the other, because you get rolled if they break your, like, soft lock. Or you squeak over the line with your denial cards. One of those two things will happen. This is a really good start for us. I'd love extra basics down, but otherwise can't complain. Getting the benefit of more mulligans here. Okay, so we're up against a Mew. This is a tricky matchup, no doubt, but we are path gamers, so with that there's a chance. Hey look, a path. Pretty much the best draw possible. So the best way to play around rope is actually retreating into Sobble here. So let's do it like this. I don't need the Drizzile for next turn, like, because we already have the supporter, so we'll see how disruptive this is. And we already hold the net, right, so. It's the path and pray. You drop the path, you look your opponent square in the eyes and say, what you got? Well, they have a pumpkin pit for us, so that's not bad. They're gaming. They're having to throw away tablets, which you do love to see. And looks like they're all in on a Rotom Phone Genesect draw for 1. Okay, Tower doubles up their loot. And they're gaming. Okay. Here we go. More phones coming in. They've only left themselves 1 Mew space, but that's okay. And no space for Oricorio, which is good for us. There's their Mew coming down. Fusion to Mew means they're trying not to attack us this turn, or they're doing it with a leap play. I guess they're allowed to leap into us because of because our damage output is so shoddy. They're not playing around the triple heads. Oh, I'll do it. Think I won't. Alright, they're just going to energy mix here. So they whiffed the Sparkle, which is something. Where were you last turn, Sobble? Alright, let's do this. I want an insta-playable, so I think I'm just going to grab Incense for VMAX here. Of course, the objective is still to try and path cheese him this turn. But we want to do it alongside damaging stuff, right? Let's take our freebie card. Not bad, not bad. It lets me zig. So we'll pick this guy up. So interesting. Zig pinging the one prizer doesn't make sense in this instance because I'm denying him Psychic Leaping just by having one Mew out, right? He's not able to VMAX leap. He would have to just stay as one Mew and leap. So we are missing out on the path, but we have one more, well, two more draws to get it. That would be the dream. No dreaming today. They are 2 tabs down. We'll hold... Oh no, I can do this, right? There's no reason not to. Pretty much as good as it gets. We'll do the 100-100. It's almost as if we have a collapsed stadium down because of his own Pumpkaboo. It doesn't come without its own downsides. Now we see the Sparkle. So this could be a big KO with Melodious. They do get into their VMAX. You can see the phone. They are sort of just able to do everything they want when there's not a path in play. That's always the downside. So they get the tablet to establish that KO. All is not lost yet, though. We can still have one more bite at the disruption cherry here. There is the Echo KO. So their hand is large. They didn't phone a card to the top, so we're allowed to Marnie for the additional card on our end. Don't think I'm allowed to research. I think that's too easy for them. So let's just play the Marnie. We do hit a lot of good stuff here. We did prize our Fan, which is a shame. But we can at least KO the Meloetta and deny Echo that way. I was thinking of how I could get tower value, but I don't think I can. The net is interesting. I think I'm holding it for next turn, though. I have one more bite of the cherry if I want to go for Rose Tower, but I think the research is too good. So let's take this Meloetta out of play. Way too scary to deal with. Let's see if they first of all have a stadium. Oh. Well, that was not the best Marnie, I guess. We are kind of just path praying against Mew, and you know, sometimes it's a fragile thing. It's a little bit unlucky, actually. They got rid of 3 tablets already, so they had like maximum of 3 buffs, and that was obviously their last Meloetta. They did have a lot of Ball Search remaining though. Anyways, that's Jolteon. You do sometimes just get the clapping from a Mew when they start their Pumpkaboo, and they actually play Pumpkaboo. But there you go. That's the path cheese route that we are going for with Jolteon. It does take its time against Mew for certain, especially because they have Fusion Energy denying Quick Shooting and Zig to make the math better for you. It does take a couple turns. But yeah, that's the deck. We had some interesting games there. We were able to deny Arceus from playing the game. We were able to deny Malamar from playing the game. And we weren't able to deny Mew from playing the game. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about Jolteon. Where would you rank it in the top 10 right now? Is it too risky for you, or is it one of your pet decks? Let me know down below. And I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Cheers.